Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for November 3, 2022, the Please Fix edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal. What do crap bosses do? Well, it's 9 o'clock, your workday is winding down, you're a young professional, you are on holiday, and you get a ping, and it says, please fix. Well, the please fix is a shorthand for a curt note from someone up the chain, and a phrase that become a phenomenon among corporate stiffs in high-pressure fields. So that's why there's crap bosses, and that's why there is cancel, or rather quiet quitting, because bosses don't give a damn. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, CVS and Walgreens agree to pay more than $10 billion to settle opioid lawsuits. The 2 largest drugstore chains have reached a framework to settle with a coalition of governments and Native American tribes. Under the proposal, CVS would pay $4.9 billion to states and municipalities and $130 million to tribes over the next 10 years. Walgreens has said it has offered to pay $4.79 billion to states over 15 years and about $155 million to tribes. It also expects to pay up to $753 million in attorney's fees. So, looks like the drugstores are finally coming to roost. Our next story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal. Dylan Tokar reporting that Leidos, an information and technology engineering services firm, received dual subpoenas in recent months in connection with criminal investigations into potential foreign bribery and antitrust violations. The company was served with a grand jury subpoena relating to the Justice Department's antitrust division. The disclosure comes amid ramped-up enforcement of antitrust laws, which was virtually non-existent during the prior administration. The August subpoena covers documents related to 3 contracts between the U.S. government and a branch of the company that provides intelligence-focused IT services. And our final story comes to us from Bloomberg, and it is that there's a 2-day SFO sentencing hearing beginning in London for Glencore, and a judge will decide the final fine against Glencore on Thursday. One of the examples was bags of cash being flown literally across the border, not the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way is you drive across the border with bags of cash. Nevertheless, pretty significant and interesting violations by Glencore, which they say they're sorry now. Hope they mean it. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.